Hello and welcome everyone. This is MrSovr with the second Java tutorial video. Um, right now I'm going to go over some quite advanced stuff. This is sort of like a crash course, you may think. I got a lot of stuff in each tutorial and I say it really quick. So if you have a question about something, please comment it in the comments section and I will for sure answer it. I might take a little while because I'm usually busy once in a while. So, if you have any questions, put them there. And, of course, thank you for watching these tutorials. And here's the second one. Okay, so for now, we have two files, the functions.java and the core.java. Now, the core.java is holds the main method, which is, of course, the starting point of execution of the application. And we have the public class core, which of course has to be the exact same as the actual file. So if you have class, I don't know, car, it wouldn't match up with the core and things would happen. I don't know if it's an error or is just a warning, but it's good practice to, yeah, it comes out as an error. So you have to have it as the exact same as the Java file. Okay, so we have an import. An import allows you to import different libraries that are pre-programmed into Java. Now, libraries in programming languages are basically a handful of methods that were pre-done by other people that are very convenient for you to use. The java.util or utility.wildcard symbol, semicolon, basically means that it imports all the Java utility libraries all at once. Now, could I do a specific one, like doing scanner, for example, which we'll be using? Sure, that's alright. But why not do that when you can import all of them all at once? If you are like a batch file type person or command prompt type person, you might understand this. Okay, so let's go into the public static void main. Now, in the previous video, I did not really explain the string, whatever you call those things, brackets, args, and I'm going to hold off on that because there's a little bit of advanced stuff in there, even though it'll probably be like the third or fourth tutorial video for that. So, what are objects? Objects are usually other classes being called into another class as a reference variable. And by doing this, it's basically different types of memory. I know in the heap of memory, or memory heap, you can create different objects and have references to them. You must have a reference to an object in order to initialize it or even use it. Or else there's this thing called the Java garbage collector that collects all the objects and deletes it for you, unlike C++ where you have to manually delete stuff. But we call upon the scanner object and having the reference scan in this simple part of code. The new variable initializes the object to the scan reference, and usually there are these things called constructors within different objects that you have to put information in to initialize them and stuff like that. We'll get into constructors sooner or later. For now, it's just system.in. What the scanner object does is allows you to, it stalls the program for a second and allows you to type in the information from the keyboard. So it's like a user input type stuff. You can do strings, you can do integers, stuff like that. So we call it into the scan reference. And same thing for the functions file, which is actually a class that we made in the functions.java file, but we have a reference called fun. Now, when you try to use an object, you have to use it through the reference variable. So let's take a break here and let's go over to the functions.java. Now, there are different types of variables in Java. I'm not going to name all of them. I'm just going to name the ones that are shown here. There is the int and the double. The double allows you to have decimals, and it's a much bigger span of number ranges than integers, I believe. Integers do not have decimals, but they do have a limit, since they only take up a certain amount of memory. But we can, of course, name any of the variables we initialize to whatever we want, A, B, and C I called it. And of course they're all private, so they cannot be accessed by the core.java or any other Java file or class. Well, basically the same thing. We have all sorts of these methods kind of representing basic math functions and stuff like that. But we have a method called public void set A, and it has a input of an integer A. So when you call this method in a different class or a different Java file, you have to type in set A, or I'll just do it now. It'd be like set A, and then you set it to 20. So you set the variable A to 20, basically. Even though I'm not, that's just basically what I was saying, just kind of typing it out for you. But wait a second, what is this? It's this. What's this? I know, it's kind of funny. What's this? This is this. But anyways, the this command, don't forget there is a period right here. This is referencing to the functions class. So the only reason I use this is because it can be a little bit useful on how it works. For example, if I don't have this, A equals A will be basically like saying, well, you're setting the variable the exact same variable. Like, what's the point? So then you have to reference this class, which is this variable A, with the local variable A. I know it's a little complex. I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments on it. I probably explained that part not so well, but it's a little hard to explain. It's sort of like if you practice it a while, you understand it type of thing. So let's move on. There are I also want to say there are setters and getter methods. The getter method allows you to return a variable. For example, get A would return the variable A, and the set A would set the variable A to whatever input you put within the parameters. The the get B and get A would get the A variable and the B variable. And notice that the void rate that usually is right here is an int. So that means it returns an integer. So that's why A and B are integers. Well, if you look down here, get answer, which is returning the C variable, it's a double instead of an int. So you can return stuff like a string, an int, or returning nothing at all. But of course, we'll put this back to double. Now, there are also other functions like add, subtract, divide, multiply. To do basic functions of math, it's kind of self-explanatory how it works. This is a plus symbol, minus symbol, divide, and times symbol. And by doing this, we have A plus B equals C, or A minus B equals C, A divided by B equals C, and A times B equals C. And we also have the reset method right here, which sets C to 0, so we can do another function. Okay, now that we have that explained, of course, when we create a reference variable based off of this class, we can access any of these methods in a different Java file. So in this core.java, we set the functions class to a reference variable of fun. Well, the thing is, this is technically an object that we're creating, but it's from a class, basically, which then we can use fun. So we have a system.out.println, enter your first number. Fun, of course, is our reference number, uses the setA command, and then we have a scan.nextInteger. The next integer is a function, a method within the scan object that allows you to enter in anything allows you to enter in an integer. So it will stop the program for a while and ask for an integer. So I'll type it 8 of 3, not a 3.3, not a H, not a Y, nothing of that. And it sets the variable A in this area to whatever number you typed in. Then it asks for your second number. This will be variable b. It would do the exact same thing as set a, but it would set b and scan.next integer. From there on, we can use the fun reference variable to add, then to reset. Then you can use it for subtraction, multiplication, dividing. Now, the fun.add adds a and b and sets the variable c to whatever the addition is to both of those variables. And then we can simply just display it through the system.out.println line. We have the fun.getA, which gets the variable a, and surprisingly enough, if you put this function, or I'm sorry, I keep on saying function, method into this command, it will automatically convert your integer, your double, your float, whatever, into a string, or it will display it like a string. So fun.getA will turn that number into a string. Then you have the plus symbol to add more information to the display of it. So you have the string space plus space. And then you have another plus symbol to add in the b variable. And then you plus the equals string plus the fun.getAnswer, which is what c equals. Now, when we actually execute the program, I will explain a little bit further. The fun.reset sets the c variable to 0, and we do the exact same thing, but instead of adding, there's subtraction. So it would be a minus b equals c. This will display the a variable, this will display the b variable, this will display the c variable. So it'll be like, if I typed in the first variable is 20, second variable 10, if I were to add that, it would be 30, so I'll say 20 plus 10 equals 30. And of course, the scanner is used for input key commands, or not key commands, like integers, doubles, strings, whatever. So now that we got that all situated, and of course the java.util has the scanner function. The functions object is, of course, we created. Just save everything. Let's run it. And it says enter your first number. Just click in this area and let's say 20. Press enter. Enter your second number. Let's do 10. And then it shows 20 plus 10 equals 30. 20 minus 10 equals 10. So why on earth is there a 0.0 right there? Well, if you remember, c, the variable, was actually a double. So it allows decimals. So it automatically by default shows the decimal 0 at the end, indicating that it's a double, not an integer or anything else. It might be a float. Float and a double are the exact same things, but float takes less memory, I believe, than a double, which makes it a little bit more convenient for like game development and stuff like that. So that's the understanding of how you can communicate using objects with multiple files in Java, and how you can easily use the this command, and also importing stuff from the Java library and math manipulation, string manipulation, stuff like that. Thank you for watching this. Make sure to like the video so more people can see and learn about this. Make sure to have some comments for suggestions, questions, anything like that. Help me a lot by subscribing to my channel, and also share the video on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. I hope this helped you guys, and thank you for watching. See you later.